This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the beautiful Cape Town Boulders Penguin Sanctuary, southern tip of Africa, Cape Agulhas. I'm here with my little friends, the penguins. They're quiet, checked in on the creche, they're taking it easy. They're losing their baby feathers. Maybe I'll post a video here for those of you that would like to see the baby feathers being lost of the penguins when they're becoming adolescent. It's so beautiful. I'll share that today as well. I'll share that when I take the video. This particular video will be queued. I have a number of videos I'm ahead of schedule. And I only want to share one per day. I don't want to overbomb people with video content. So what have we come to talk to you about today? Animal senses. It's something very close to my heart. And what do I mean by animal senses? I mean the human senses can be like animal senses. This is a shamanic secret known to all the shaman that spend a lot of time in the wilderness, just listening, just being, just tuning in to nature. The senses start to change, the senses start to evolve. One becomes very attuned to every sound, every movement. One's eyes become enlivened to what's happening around. One finds that one sees the snake in the tree. One sees the scorpions on the ground. One notices the trail of ants. One becomes aware. Children have an innate animal sense. The shamans spend time in the wilderness to develop these senses. And this is why being in nature is so fundamentally important for one's development and one's spiritual progress. Because being grounded, and I did a video about being grounded recently, go and check it out, you might like it, is fundamentally important. Everybody wants to get into the higher chakras and experience the energy reality. I did a video about that too, about people wanting to just open the higher chakras and not being tuned in to what's happening on the ground zero, and how important the lower chakras are. Good morning. And so grounding to the senses are fundamentally important to one's development on all levels, because one lives in the real world. One doesn't escape into one's mind or escape down a channel road of emotions that can entrap one. For the mind and emotions can entrap one in the delusional states of being. But when we become attuned to what's happening in our immediate reality, we ground our energies, ground zero, and the harmony of nature starts to speak through us, to us, gets awoken within us. And this is a fundamental key to the development of the balanced state of perception, so that one is able to transcend one's physical reality, able to observe deep within oneself and see the mystical revelations that are being carried by the hands of nature as a daily affair. The shaman are very in tune with this daily affair of the hands of nature, revealing the omens of being. And this is only happening when one's in tune with the animal senses. One needs to really be listening, really be looking. One's thoughts cannot be active. And that's the first hint of how to achieve that natural sense, the natural awareness of the animal mind. One needs to transcend one's thinking. One needs to allow one's thoughts to lay at rest like a serpent. Allow it to bask in the sun, in the warmth of the heart, so that the warmth of the heart can wash over this with the radiance of beauty that comes from observation of nature. This is why the shaman are so embedded within nature, so embedded within focusing. Good morning.
Good morning.
And so we find ourselves in this world, observing ourselves in tune. Good morning. And this happens when you allow yourself to just let go. Just let go and experience nature. Listen to that bird. It's beautiful. And that's what the heart embraces. One doesn't have to think. One doesn't have to figure it out. There's nothing to understand. There's nothing to know. Everything is already present. The awareness can encapsulate all that is. The bird's song stops to be replaced by the song of the wind, while the wind's fingers caress the skin, and the heart dances upon the silent music that it's left, swimming through like a dolphin in the sea. And so the mind is our enemy very much of the time, sadly, for it wants to take us on a journey. But we're already on a journey. So it wants to take you on a journey from your journey. This is what the thinking mechanism does. It's a journey from the journey of life into the journey of thinking. And when we allow the journey of thinking to rest and climb off of that proverbial train of thought, we find ourselves knee-deep in the waters of love, and beauties rushing over our legs. And if we allow it, it'll cover us. It will allow the warmth of the beauty's radiance to seep throughout all aspects of our being. The key is being attuned to nature. This is the secret. And one of the easiest ways to do this is through the hearing principle. For some reason, the sense of Visuddhi, the chakra that brings Sushumna awareness into a state of being, is a fast track to allowing the mind to find rest. For when one truly listens, it engages the heart and it engages all aspects of one's beings. And when one starts to listen, one starts to feel, and one's skin becomes aware. One's feet. Did you hear the little poop scoop, the poop squirt? My son calls that apple spray. They spray these little green, looks like apple puree, apple smoothie bits all over the floor out of their bottoms. Little penguins. They're quite loud poopers. So it's important to be able to appreciate what's happening around you. The creaking of the trees makes its own music. The creaking of the trees can be quite a revelation if you think about it. It's like old bones creaking, telling the tale of earth, telling the tale of what's happening deep down in the bowels of the earth, bringing to awareness the state of consciousness that is an innate state of being, one that we often deny ourselves as we run and hide from ourselves. I had to stop and play tour guide. People were wondering about the penguins. I'm here every day. I should start charging. So anyway, it's a beautiful time to be here. The tourists that come here early in the morning are very lucky. They get to see some really beautiful. You should come to the southern tip of Cape Town. You should come. This is an advert, by the way. You should come to the southern tip of Africa and see this Boulders Penguin Sanctuary. Best time to come is like June, early June. There's lots of babies. It's amazing. It's a breeding time. So yeah, where were we? Nature's eyes. To wear nature's eyes is to become attuned to your natural inner animal. And when you become attuned to your natural inner animal, you'll find the way you walk changes. You start feeling like an animal in your skin. It's this amazing sense to have. And you feel like an animal. You feel like you're walking like an animal. And you feel the branches. You feel the plants around you. You can literally sense proprioceptively all of the nature around you. So you can move through the dark. Yeah, you can move through the dark without torches and lights or any kind of light. I used to live in the jungles and I never used a light ever when I was moving around at night. And I used to move around at night sometimes. Because when I used to travel to go and fetch some rice and lentils, I'd like carry like 40, 50 kilos on my back. Then it was about 35 kilometers of walking. And obviously I was barefoot. I lived barefoot in the jungle. So it's like 18 kilometers out and 18 kilometers in. And the sun's pretty harsh in Sri Lanka. You can get sunstroke easily. So I never used to walk in the hot time of the day. I'd leave early in the morning and I'd leave there late at like 3, 4 in the afternoon. So I'd be walking until like sometimes 8 in the evening, you know, because to walk 36 Ks with a big pack on your back it takes a while. And so, yeah, I used to walk in the night. And there were poachers in the jungles. So obviously, having a light at night was not wise, because there were poachers that were poaching elephant, believe it or not. And you could hear them shooting in the distance in the jungles. But obviously, you're out there far in the jungle, there's no one else there. There's no assistance, there's no help. So I used to live in the wilderness, barefoot in a cave, and train. It's what you do when you're becoming a shaman. You live there, it's your life. So yeah, you start to become very attuned to nature. The more time you spend in nature, the more attuned you become to the flows of nature, and you start to feel nature beneath your feet. And so you can sense the animals. It will get to the point where you can walk past a bush and know that there's babies in the bush. You get these impressions, and you can sense when there's a wild animal nearby that's hungry, or you can sense when there's a bear coming, for example. I used to see a lot of bears, black bears, brown bears, and black bears were my favorite. Been very close to black bear, been right next to them. Beautiful creatures. Been next to a black bear mommy with her baby, with a cub, right in the bush, and not felt threatened at all. She didn't feel threatened. And obviously, wild bull, and I've been threatened by wild bull, I've been charged by wild bull, and the wild bull normally threaten you, they normally charge you. But they pull out just before they make contact. So you just got to be really calm and tune in. And because you can't fight a wild bull. I'd rather fight a leopard or a lion or something else. I would never fight a wild bull. They're just incredibly. It's like fighting a bull. A wild boar, sorry. The wild boar, they've got massive tusks as well. It's just as potent as a bull almost. So yeah, being in the wild is truly a gift of nature, and your senses become attuned. You start to see in a different spectrum of light. You start to listen. You hear different frequencies of sound that people normally wouldn't hear. And your energy body becomes so attuned to the energy and the vibrations around you that you can feel it through your feet. That's the reason you live barefoot if you're a shaman in training. So those of you that are interested in shamanism, you should be able to really think about this. If you work and it's difficult and you've got a lifestyle, you should be able to take like a whole month of holiday and just go and live barefoot in the wild for a whole month. Try it, see how it feels. You get a sense of the first stages of being into shamanism, because that's how you awaken your energies. That's how you awaken from a shamanic sense, to be in tune with nature. And it takes time of sitting with the silence, sitting and contemplating. The silence gets loud. The peace becomes devastatingly shocking as one deconditions one's mind or one's emotions to all of the sensory images that one gets accustomed to, and the principles and habits of the thinking process which one is stuck in. Good morning. So this is fundamental to the training, to being able to open one's senses from a shamanic perspective. And when one opens one's senses, the inner senses start to expand. And when the inner sense starts to expand, one gets into a state of innocence. Innocence and inner sense connected. Children have their inner sense working. It's hand in hand, these two principles. So realize that if you want to rediscover the child within you, the easiest way to do this is in nature. For nature is like a big child, and you're in the child of nature, living through the child of nature, experiencing nature through natural eyes and senses. This is the Bush Whisperer. Like and share this if you think other people will benefit from this video. And take the plunge. Spend more time in nature, listening to the wind. Sit in a tree somewhere, find a tree, sit in the tree. Go into the deepest, darkest places within the forest at night, in the jungles, where you know the predators live, snakes, spiders. Go meditate there, in the places where you would feel fear, where you'd be afraid. because you know there's something dangerous there. Do it. Take the plunge. Life is short. We live in such safety cocoons in our lives, padded and protected from reality. And this is what prevents us from experiencing true reality. All the safety mechanisms that we live with, all the modcoms, our safe walls, our safe homes. When you're in nature, there is no safety. What becomes your safety is your awareness. Your awareness is all you've got. So your awareness becomes activated. It's a natural impulse, an instinct. Survival instinct kicks in. So you have to be attuned, because if you step on a snake, you're dead. If you step on a scorpion, you're dead. Well, you might be. If it stings you in the wild, you're going to be prone. You're not going to be able to operate. And you could get eaten by the ants if you're living in the jungles. Yeah, this is a reality. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. After smashing the like button, subscribe so you don't miss daily uploads. There are daily uploads coming every day. Different message for the day. And don't forget, allow your natural senses to become awakened. Even if you can't be in the wilderness, grow a plant. Grow a plant from seed to mature, and watch the plant go through all its stages of life. Spend time with your plant. Name your plant. Get connected to the plant. Nature is the key. This is the Bush Whisperer coming at you from the beautiful Penguin Sanctuary. I hope you have an absolutely gorgeous day. Don't forget to smile. Don't forget to enjoy yourselves. And don't forget to embed yourself within nature and awaken those inner senses. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.